Wow. It is Friday again. What the hell? WTF? All that stuff. Just slammed in breakfast. It's been one of those mornings. And I'm looking forward to getting in the zone for more financial well-being for me, for you, for everybody, as we kind of recap some of the stuff that is covered in Rich Dad Poor Dad. And wash down my toast with some tea. And we're going to hook in. We're going to do 45 minutes of this. It doesn't matter if you're not watching this. It doesn't matter if you watch this every week. It doesn't matter if this is your first time that you're watching this. The idea is that, it's there if you ever need it. And just to reiterate, I'm definitely not a financial advisor, but everything in these books that we go through in these clubs are things that I have read, and like what I would say I'm very good at is implementing things into my life that I learn. So they don't always work, and sometimes I throw them away. Other times they are game-changing to me, and so that's what I want to do. I want to see, I'm looking for other people to come on that journey with me, take things, implement them into their lives, share knowledge, contribute. So feel free to chuck things in the chat as you're listening with me, or private message me if you like. I'll probably get that, maybe not on the stream, but I'll get back to you afterwards. But whatever, I just want to be part of your journey. If I can be a contribution to it, that's what I exist for. I love to be a contribution. I love to grow myself, and I love to be a contribution to others. I find that those two things go really well together. All right, so we've got some people watching now, so let's make a start, shall we? Let's get into it. Happy Friday. Oh, I gotta share my screen. That's what I got to do. All right, so the normal format, I take notes as I go. That's a better format, actually. That's the format we're going to use. I'm going to make an overlay this week, so it'll be a bit nicer, a bit prettier. Yeah, so that's the format we're going to use from this point moving forward, because I'm in the middle. We can use this area down the bottom. We can use this area down the top. I like it. All right. Oh, thanks for joining, whoever's just joined. Happy Friday to you. And yeah, feel free to say hi if you like, and I can say hi back to you. We're going to start listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad and see if we can learn something together. That would be the game. Woohoo! Happy Friday. Oh.
My educated dad, after falling from grace with the governor, became the head of the teachers union in Hawaii. He told me that it was the hardest job he ever held. My rich dad, on the other hand, spent his life doing his best to keep his companies from becoming unionized. He was successful. Although the unions came close, Rich Dad was always able to fight them off. Personally, I take no sides because I can see the need for and the benefits of both sides. If you do as school recommends, become highly specialized, then seek union protection. For example, had I continued with my flying career, I would have sought a company that had a strong pilots union. Why? Because my life would be dedicated to learning a skill that was valuable in only one industry. If I were pushed out of that industry, my life's skills would not be as valuable.
Okay, so this book is talking about unionization right now, which is the kind of thing that has the potential to make me switch off, because in no way, shape, or form have I ever been involved in anything like that, at least from the perspective of being protected by a union. But I do think that what it highlights is that jobs need protecting, and if something needs protecting, that means that there's a weakness there, a vulnerability there. Like there is everywhere. That's I think the thing to get. Like if you own a business, you know that that's vulnerable as well. So there is no invulnerable kind of safe path
to another industry. A displaced senior pilot with 100,000 hours of heavy airline transport time, earning $150,000 a year, would have a hard time finding an equivalent high-paying job teaching in school. Skills do not necessarily transfer from industry to industry. Skills the pilots are paid for in the airline industry are not as important in, say, the school system. The same is true even for doctors today. With all the changes in medicine, many medical specialists are needing to conform to medical organizations such as HMOs. School teachers definitely need to be union members. Today in America, the teachers' union is the largest and the richest labor union of all. The NEA, the National Education Association, has tremendous political clout. Teachers need the protection of their union because their skills are also of limited value to an industry outside of education. So the rule of thumb is highly specialized, then unionize. It's the smart thing to do. When I ask the classes I teach, how many of you can cook a better hamburger than McDonald's, almost all the students raise their hands. I then ask, so if most of you can cook a better hamburger, how come McDonald's makes more money than you? The answer is obvious. McDonald's is excellent at business systems. The reason so many talented people are poor is because they focus on building a better hamburger and know little to nothing about business systems. A friend of mine in Hawaii is a great artist. He makes a sizable amount of money. One day, his mother's attorney called to tell him that she had left him $35,000. That is what was left of her estate after the attorney and the government took their shares. Immediately, he saw an opportunity to increase his business by using some of this money to advertise. 2 months later, his first 4-color full-page ad appeared in an expensive magazine that targeted the very rich. The ad ran for 3 months. He received no replies from the ad, and all of his inheritance is now gone. He now wants to sue the magazine for misrepresentation.
I just want to, just a side note, I see that all the time. Clients come to me, we lost 10 grand, we lost 50 grand, we lost 100 grand and didn't get one lead in online advertising. I'm not saying that marketing doesn't work, but I'll say this again in case this is your first time here. Marketing only works when you put sales on top of it, underneath it. Like I have to, oh no, I don't, yeah. So this is my like Maslow's hierarchy of need, but for business, right? And at the bottom, it's got sales, then it's got profit, then it's got order, then it's got impact, and then finally it's got legacy. Like so many of us spend time when we start out in business thinking make the legacy first and the impact first, and then the other stuff will follow. But I've really learned the hard way, and I've seen it in like literally hundreds of our clients over the years. They think that marketing should come first. You build a brand, you advertise that brand with money spent, and then you get some stuff in the funnel and then you sell. But I don't believe that at all. And I've proven it time and time again. It's like you build an average brand, like the lowest quality brand you can afford to build. And then you get out there and you knock down some doors and you see if someone will actually give you some money for your average brand. It doesn't matter if you're getting 50% discount. It doesn't matter if you can't even give it away, then you got real problems. But you definitely don't want to be marketing that and spending money to market that. You get that built up, you get it happening, and then you start to work out how to make that more profitable. Then you bring more order to that so you can scale. Then you've got oodles of money coming in. Then you can start to have an impact. It's like we're going to give 10% to our local, food bank or whatever you want to do. And then you create a legacy, something that's going to live on way past you. Okay. So that's my version. That's not my version. It's Mike McCallowitz's version of the Maslow's hierarchy of need. But I use this daily in trying to re-educate people about, because everyone comes at me going, can you do Facebook marketing? Yeah, we can, but I don't advise it. I'd steer them well and truly away from it. All right, let's keep going.
This is a common case of someone who can build a beautiful hamburger but knows little about business. When I asked him what he learned, his only reply was, advertising salespeople are crooks. I then asked him if he would be willing to take a course in sales and a course in direct marketing. His reply, I don't have the time, and I don't want to waste my money. The world is filled with talented, poor people. All too often, they're poor or struggle financially or earn less than they are capable of, not because of what they know, but because of what they do not know. They focus on perfecting their skills at building a better hamburger rather than the skills of selling and delivering the hamburger. Maybe McDonald's does not make the best hamburger, but they are the best at selling and delivering a basic average burger. Poor Dad wanted me to specialize. That was his view on how to be paid more. Even after being told by the governor of Hawaii that he could no longer work in state government, my educated dad continued to encourage me to get specialized. Educated Dad then took up the cause of the teachers union, campaigning for further protection and benefits for these highly skilled and educated professionals. We argued often, but I know he never agreed that over-specialization is what caused the need for union protection. He never understood that the more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and dependent.
Thank you so much, Robin Millard. I appreciate your comment, and I just realized I can't seem to comment back on Facebook. So yeah, thank you so much. Hope you're well, my friend. Happy Friday to you. I miss you. You're a rock star.
Dependent on that specialty. Rich Dad advised that Mike and I groom ourselves. Many corporations do the same thing. They find a young, bright student just out of business school and begin grooming that person to someday take over the company. So these bright young employees do not specialize in one department. They are moved from department to learn all the aspects of business systems. The rich often groom their children.
Absolutely, Robin. I love that too, because the thing is, like, it's a really subtle, like, you don't notice the word selling in that title. You just don't see it. It's like something that we've grown accustomed to think best selling is like got nothing to do with the act of sales for some reason. It's like it walks off the shelves by itself, but no, there's a powerful engine behind that process. So yeah, thanks again, Robin. You're interacting. I need more interaction in my Friday morning. I really do. Thank you so much. But I also just appreciate you having the conversation with me, my friend.
Or the children of others. By doing so, their children gain an overall knowledge of the operations of the business and how the various departments interrelate. For the World War II generation, it was considered bad to skip from company to company. Today, it is considered smart. Since people will skip from company to company rather than seek greater specialization in skills, why not seek to learn more than to earn? In the short term, it may earn you less, but it will pay dividends in the long term. The main management skills needed for success are.
I always tell people nowadays, and I don't know if this is if this lands, okay, but I always encourage people to not be loyal anymore. Like, I think that the concept of loyalty provides a space for what will we say, like lack of performance. Like, if you're in a marriage, okay, you shouldn't be loyal just because you're in a marriage. You should be loyal because your partner is putting themselves at issue for you and the team that is your marriage time and time again, not just because you're in a marriage. If you're in a business or you're using a business like a power company, whatever, don't be loyal just because you've signed up. Be loyal because they're delivering value time and time again. And I'm not saying you want to hold that over people, but I think that in this world, like, we can be more powerful in what we go out and get. And then there's so many more options that we should not pretend that loyalty is loyalty is not, like, I don't know. I don't even know what the original driver of loyalty is. That's the thing I'm getting at here. I don't even know the source of where loyalty came from. It could have come from, like, insecurity. If you go back further and further in time, like, you have to be loyal because I need you. You know what I mean? Like, who knows how it originated? But I just feel like in this day and age, there is a lot to be said for not being loyal. And that doesn't mean cheat. I'm not encouraging cheat, but I'm encouraging powerful conversations that create a space of loyalty, not just all of us in this blind, mindless act of loyalty, if that makes sense. Like, loyalty needs to be earned and earned continually.
1. Management of cash flow. 2. Management of systems. 3. Management of people. The most important specialized skills are sales and marketing. The ability to sell, to communicate to another human being, be it a customer, employee, boss, spouse, or child, is the base skill of personal success. Communication skills such as writing, speaking, and negotiating are crucial to a life of success. These are skills I work on constantly, attending courses or buying educational resources to expand my knowledge. As I have mentioned, my educated dad worked.
That's what I'm talking about right there, Robin. Oh, yes. See, you stick around for a bad boss, that actually, in some way, empowers their bad bossiness. And then nobody wins. Like, they don't get to be a better boss. You don't get a better working environment. And they get to walk around saying, I have this amazing human being, Robin, who does everything so powerfully. So why do I need to change? I'm getting the results. That's the problem. Like, loyalty can also encourage a space of adequate results. That's the problem as well. So with that, with adequate results, people don't need to change. It's only when there's a space of zero results. Yeah, I agree, Robin. It's comfortable staying with what you know, even when it's bad. Yeah. The joys of being human, eh? The joys of being human. Yeah. So I guess on that note, to anybody else who's listening, like this is a really meaty area, and you should look in your life. Where are you being loyal that you could take that all your amazing energies and put them into something that's way more fulfilling, rewarding, profitable, powerful, all of those sorts of things. Don't stay comfortable. The underlying, actually, I think loyalty and comfort, I've never explored this, by the way, so I'm thinking out loud, but I think that loyalty and comfort are heavily interwoven, and there's a real danger. Like, both of those words, they're a red flag for me, well, comfort, I don't like earning comfort. Like, I see comfort as a tiny reward you get after a hard slog. It's like, okay, I entered a jiu-jitsu competition, or I had a really tough conversation, or whatever. Okay, now I'm going to find myself a little space of comfort to recuperate, and I'm going to get back out there. And loyalty, I don't see as this kind of thing that, okay, there's a binding agreement now, whatever that is, job, marriage, services contract, whatever. So now we should just be loyal. Both of those things, yeah, I probably have different definitions for them now than many people.
Harder and harder the more competent he became. He also became more trapped the more specialized he got. Although his salary went up, his choices diminished. Soon after he was locked out of government work, he found out how vulnerable he really was professionally. It is like professional athletes who suddenly are injured or are too old to play. Their once high-paying position is gone, and they have limited skills to fall back on. I think that is why my educated dad sided so much with the unions after that. He realized how much a union would have benefited him. Rich Dad encouraged Mike and me to know a little about a lot. He encouraged us to work with people smarter than we were and to bring smart people together to work as a team. Today, it would be called a synergy of professional specialties. Today, I meet ex-school teachers earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They earn that much because they have specialized skills in their field as well as other skills. They can teach as well as sell and market. I know of no other skills to be more important than selling and marketing. The skills of selling and marketing are difficult for most people, primarily due to their fear of rejection. The better you are at communicating, negotiating, and handling your fear of rejection, the easier life is. Just as I advised that newspaper writer who wanted to become a best-selling author, I advise anyone else today. Being technically specialized has its strengths as well as its weaknesses. I have friends who are geniuses, but they cannot communicate effectively with other human beings, and, as a result, their earnings are pitiful. I advise them to just spend a year learning to sell. Even if they earn nothing, their communication skills will improve, and that is priceless. In addition to being good learners, sellers, and marketers, we need to be good teachers as well as good students. To be truly
This is interesting, right? Like, even if you're about investing in crypto, let's say, or whatever it is, okay, whatever it is that you has made you any money in the past, if you think about it, I don't think that I don't think there's an exception to this. It's always a human being and communication with that human being that is the reason, the source of why you're in that thing. So you might say, well, I invested in crypto and made millions of dollars, so I didn't need to communicate with a human being. Yeah, but somebody got you into crypto. Somebody sold you on the idea that it was a great way to be. And even if you think you came up with it on your own, you didn't. Someone wrote it somewhere, and you bought their communication. The reality is that things don't happen in a vacuum, and it's always about communication with others that leads to helping others become wealthy and also becoming wealthy yourself. And I don't just mean financially, I mean in every way, shape, and form. So yeah, communicating with other human beings is what will lead you to money. You can be a genius operating in your own vacuum because you can't communicate, and there ain't no cheese down that tunnel for you. So working on your communication skills is just the critical piece here.
rich, we need to be able to give as well as to receive. In cases of financial or professional struggle, there is often a lack of giving and receiving. I know many people who are poor because they are neither good students nor good teachers. Both of my dads were generous men. Both made it a practice to give first. Teaching was one of their ways of giving. The more they gave, the more they received. One glaring difference was in the giving of money. My rich dad gave lots of money away. He gave to his church, to charities, and to his foundation. He knew that to receive money, you had to give money. Giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. That is why there are organizations like the Rockefeller Foundation and the Ford Foundation. These are organizations designed to take their wealth and increase it, as well as give it away in perpetuity. My educated dad always said, "When I have some extra money, I'll give it." The problem was that there was never any extra. So he worked harder to draw more money in rather than focus on the most important law of money: give and you shall receive. Instead, he believed in receive and then you give. In conclusion, I became both dads. One part of me is a hardcore capitalist who loves the game of money making money. The other part is a socially responsible teacher who is deeply concerned with this ever-widening gap between the haves and have-nots. I personally hold the archaic educational system primarily responsible for this growing gap.
All right, that's pretty cool. That's probably the place we're only gonna do a short one today because it finishes a chapter. And I really like this giving and receiving kind of topic because this shows up everywhere, whether or not, again, a marriage is unfulfilling, a business is financially unfulfilling, or just not rewarding as an environment to work in, whether or not the family is, not a great environment to be part of. If you're operating from a space of, when I have this, then I will do that. The problem with that is it's a bargaining system. People, you know, like, it's transactional, okay? And people get that. And actually the flip side of that would be transactional as well. Like, if I give you this, then I expect that, okay? Again, we want to take that that feeling of transactional out of the equation. And then when you do that, the floodgates really can open in terms of love, in terms of money, everywhere. So I would really like you to test out giving without any expectation to receive. And it doesn't matter how small. Like, for example, I've started teaching jiu-jitsu weekly now. I don't need anything more on my plate, that's for sure. But I'm teaching jiu-jitsu free of charge to absolute beginners who've never tried jiu-jitsu before. And it's like, already there's just so much opening up as a result of that I would never have predicted, from new relationships, new business opportunities, just an overwhelming sense of gratitude. People coming out of the woodwork and saying, hey, I've been meaning to do this for a long time. This would be amazing for me because I'm not in a position, to pay right now, whatever. Like, I'm getting the chance to be a massive contribution. And I don't have any expectation about it. I just wanted to teach jiu-jitsu. Actually, the expectation I have is that I will grow and I will get to be a contribution. That's the only expectation. That's the only transactional part for me. If I'm not growing and getting to be a contribution, I probably don't want to do it. But yeah, I encourage you to take something on for yourself in that realm. And that's it. So let's just have a quick look at what is the next chapter. The next chapter is going to be, overcoming obstacles. Bring that on. That's what we're going to be focusing on next week. So I hope you can make it. Robin, I really, really appreciate your contribution today. Thank you. Like, you have the most engaging conversation I've ever had in the book club so far. And I wish that 10 Robins can show up next week and engage, and we can have a conversation. I really enjoyed that too. All right, everybody, have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch you soon. Peace out.